Okay, so I hope that everybody can hear me. For those who are going to come, those who are going to watch and see this, I know it's going to take a little bit of time for you guys to come and everything like that, especially since this was kind of quick. But I'm excited to talk about it because these types of topics basically make me excited to talk about. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time for some people to join. I hope y'all have y'all something to eat and stuff because we're going to talk. And I hope that you guys don't mind talking. Make sure that you say something in the chat, guys, and talk back to me because even though for some people I may be teaching, for others I may not be. You know, this may be something y'all done already looked into, and we're just going to be talking about it and chatting it up, okay? So I'm going to say hello just so we can have the chat there and I'm speaking to everybody. First and foremost, I also do want to go on record and say that I was also led to do a reading for those. First of all, let me get my sip real quick because I don't want to just hold my glass. Okay, so I got my sip. But anyway, I was led to do pretty much a quick and general reading for those who do come on and watch. Let me tell y'all what my question was and what my prayer was. First, I also want to preface this by saying if you're not a person who wants to see the reading and stuff like that, and you're not comfortable with that, I do understand. So you can go right ahead and click off. But if you're not, intimidated by that or you don't see anything wrong with it, then I want you to go ahead and stay here with me. I want to give it a few more minutes before I go ahead and hop into the reading, but I do want to tell y'all that before I came on and when I did get this idea, it's been in the works for probably a week or two now. But today I got the idea that I wanted to do a reading for you guys who come on. So my prayer was, Spirit, for those who are their eyes are going to see this live, even if they don't stay, what are some messages that you have for them? So with that question, that intention sent out, I did get some messages. Okay. I got 3 cards. The first deck that I used is my Soul's Journey Oracle deck, right? And so 3 cards came out of that deck. And the 3 cards that came out and they all flipped over and came out at the same time. So I really do feel like this is something that Spirit really wants to talk about, address. And this is probably some of the energy that a lot of people who are going to come across this live are going to be in, or they have dealt with it, or they're currently dealing with it. Okay. So the 3 cards that came out are regret, freedom, and guilt. Regret, freedom, and guilt. So the bottom of the deck of the Soul's Journey Tarot was imagination. And so there are those who are going to come onto this live and they're going to be late to the live and they're going to miss this, but it's okay because thank God for live replays, right? Anyway, the card that came out was imagination. I don't know if you guys can see that. Imagination. And the affirmation that's a part of this, it says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Okay. And I get this vibe that this message is really going to touch people who, for whatever reason, your creativity, your being able to manifest and create the life that you desire, or whatever this may pertain to. It could be a relationship, it could be manifesting a certain particular job, or manifesting your purpose, whatever the case may be. I get the vibe that some of us aren't doing that. I get the vibe that some of us are struggling to do that. We're in between this space of working to create stability for ourselves and for our families, and also being the creative being that we are and that we know we are and that we can be. So I think that was the overall energy. Okay, now to get to the regret card. So when these cards came out, I was sitting with them for just a hot second, and I was like, okay, Spirit, I definitely need some help clarifying what are some of the energies surrounding this regret energy here. So I'll read the affirmation for that. And it says, I know that I cannot change the past. And I feel like for some people, I'm going to say what Spirit is telling me. So, first, it deals with relationships for some, not everybody, but for some, it deals with relationships, okay? Going back and forth between, and not even just going back and forth, it's like going over the same things over and over and over again. And there's still being blockages and literally no forward movement. No forward movement, period. Okay. So, those of you who are going to come across this reading, you might find that, oh my God, that resonates with me because that's the energy that you've been dealing with yourself. Okay. And the reason that I got that understanding of the regret card is because the two cards that came out of the Melanated Tarot, which I use to clarify all these cards, are the Two of Pentacles and the Chariot in reverse. And so the Two of Pentacles, for me, is about a rigmarole. It's about the same thing coming around, like maybe within the same time frame. It's cyclical, and it seems like it keeps on happening. It can also deal with multitasking or somebody taking on like more than they can handle. And so the Chariot in reverse to me says no moving forward. Okay, this also could indicate somebody having car troubles, car issues. Okay, your car could just clunk out on you, whatever the case may be. That's some random stuff, and I know that resonates for me, both the spiritual implications as well as what a real physical thing. So some of us could be having the same arguments with our lover, the same arguments with our family members, the same types of arguments with friends, associates, acquaintances, coworkers, right? And you're like, why do we have to keep going over this same stuff over and over again? And you're beginning to realize, damn, there's no forward movement. There has been no change. There has been no progression here. And for some of you guys, you could be going over that in your head, and you could be like experiencing regret. Okay? And Spirit is just like, I feel like there's no need for the regret, that we have to look at what's happening, assess what's happening, and then move forward with the information that we have. Okay, so that's for some people's energy. Like I said, that could be a romantic relationship, a familial relationship, a work, and a friendship relationship. But I do think it's a relationship nonetheless. I know that I cannot change the past. Okay, so that could be the thought that some of you guys who are in unions where you keep going over the same thing and you keep noticing that your partner keeps doing the same thing at a certain time or whatever, or they have the same behavioral hiccups, right? Okay, this was an issue with you guys in the past and it's still coming up again. You can't change the past, okay? And as of now, what it's looking like, there has also been no change in the present. There is no forward movement or progression. So now we just have to move forward, whatever that may mean, okay? So then the next card that came out was freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom. And it says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Now, again, whether this is a family situation, a romantic union situation, a job situation, okay, we do have the free will that the Most High God of all things of creation has given us, okay? So at any given time, we can make a different choice. Now, the overall energy of all of the clarifying cards, with the exception, I believe, of one, with the exception of one, okay, okay, I got even more of a message. With the exception of one card, the overall energy of the Melanated Tarot is that there are people who are feeling left out in the cold. There are people who could be going through financial issues, a struggle, okay? They could feel that their partner is leaving them out in the cold and to struggle on their own, or somebody could have fears of financial ruin, okay? There could be money issues coming up in these unions, right? Somebody could feel that if they choose themselves, okay, and they leave a relationship behind, that they could leave somebody feeling like they're left out in the cold, okay? And this could be something that's playing on people's emotions and on their heart, okay? Welcome to everybody who's coming on, guys. I hope that you guys stick with me, say hello. I have not started the actual conversation about the greater key of Solomon yet. Right now, I am doing a general reading. So if you want to leave and come back, I definitely understand, but you may miss something that could very well be for you, okay? But moving on. What was this? Okay, guys. So here we go. Or what? Oh, that had already fallen on the ground. Okay, Spirit, thank you. Thank you for correcting me right there. So moving on, guys. The Freedom card came out. So then I needed Spirit to help me to clarify. Gemini Goddess says, peace, sis. I love your attire. Very pretty. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. How you doing, girl? I'm so happy that you're here with me. Okay, so with the Freedom card, the cards that were clarified here are they're clarifying the freedom. It's the first card that flew out is the Ten of Pentacles, but in reverse, okay? And the Ten of Pentacles usually in the upright deals with like a very, very secure, stable, and even loving family dynamic, okay? A relationship where the family, the husband and the wife are on one accord. Even other family members are, and when I say other family members, especially older family members, are proud of this union, happy of this union, okay? This is also a union where there is a lot of financial stability, a lot of financial gain, okay? So whenever I see this card, I think power couple. I think a couple who are about building a legacy for their families, for their children, okay? I think about even the blessing, maybe even of the ancestors. We have an old white-haired man here who's watching a couple that's dancing, okay? So I feel like with this being in the reverse, I feel that a relationship that some of us could be in, and again, it doesn't only have to be a relationship like a romantic union. It could be with connections with family. But what I'm saying is that there is a blockage of this energy, okay, in the upright. So I feel that this is not what's happening. Somebody could have thought that they had found a union where they were going to work together to build finances, to build wealth, and instead it hasn't come. They don't see that yet, okay? And maybe, just maybe, the reason that this hasn't come yet is because somebody in this connection doesn't feel free to create their own happiness, okay? Because somebody's happiness is wrapped up in their purpose. Somebody's happiness is connected to what it is that they're called to do. All right, this is also Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo energy with the pentacles being here. So anyway, that's all I'll say for this card. There was a block there, okay? The next energy that came up, the Two of Wands. So somebody is having to make a decision about the path that they want to take, about the direction that they want to take. This can have everything to do with two people. It can have everything to do with just a lifestyle that you want to lead, okay? Somebody's got a choice that they have to make. They have a choice to make. And it also deals with their passions, because Wands is fire sign energy. So this could be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo energy. But even if it's not that, right, this is about taking action, making the decision. So somebody's decision is what's promoting that decision is the fact that they desire happiness. They desire freedom. They desire to move the way that their spirit tells them that they're supposed to move. Okay. So I'm going to put that at the back of the deck. Two of Wands. What else? What else? I said direction. They might have to be choosing between two different people. Choosing also between passion. There is two people, and if this is a person, and as far as a romantic union, there are two people that somebody feels passionate about. There's chemistry for both of them. Okay? But I do feel like there's already been a choice made. Doesn't have to be the case, but I do feel that way. Moving on. So then the next card that revealed itself to help clarify this freedom card is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups for me, it talks about the fact that people have so many options. They have so many desires, so many wants, so many hopes, so many dreams, maybe even so many talents as well in all of those aspects that they don't know what to choose. So they are still in their brain, still thinking, still in their feelings, still in their emotions based on what action to take, what move to make. And because they're not sure of their vision, they don't take any action. Somebody's got choices. Okay. Somebody's got options on what they can do, and they're having a hard time manifesting because they've got so many different ways that they could go. Okay. Um, but I also think that this Seven of Cups presenting itself is also a good thing because you can really choose one of it doesn't matter. You can choose any one of those cups and create your happiness, create your freedom. But it's up to you, okay? The Queen of Cups also presented itself, so I definitely feel like this could be the energy of the divine feminine, or this could be the energy of a woman here who's having to possibly make this decision, who's possibly wanting to have this sense of freedom to create her own sense of happiness, okay? Maybe because she's already feeling left out in the cold, right? Maybe because she's already feeling like somebody has abandoned her. Somebody already left me to fend for myself. So now I want to focus on creating the lifestyle that I've always wanted to lead. That is a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy, but it doesn't only have to resort to those signs. It can be for any sign, okay? If the message resonates with you, then take it because it is yours. And finally, the last card that came out is the Judgment card, you guys. And I really feel like something either just happened or something is about to happen that is going to lead you to freedom, to create your own happiness. I know that for some of us, we could be leaving a job. For some of us, we could be leaving a union where a person has made us feel as if we are alone, where someone has made us feel like, oh, we're out to dry, we're in the cold, we're having financial struggles and difficulties because this person has kind of cut us off or left us, you know? That could be some people's energy, but in a way, it's beautiful, it's great, it's judgment, it's what's supposed to happen, but it's not a bad thing. It's actually liberating you and freeing you up to create the lifestyle that you've been talking about, that you've been dreaming about, that you've even been having visions about. So without further ado, that's all that I got for that energy. And the last card that came out, like I showed you guys at the beginning, is guilt. Okay, guilt. And so the guilt card says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So then I'm like, okay, Spirit, this could be a broad, term. It can apply to darn near anything, right? And so whatever that applies to the people who come across this reading, take it. But what I did get when I asked Spirit to help me to clarify this energy, I got the Moon card, which deals with people's emotions, their hidden thoughts, okay, their hidden feelings. It also can deal with mysteries, secrets, okay? Maybe there are some things that they haven't shared with somebody. It doesn't matter who, whether a romantic partner, family, friends, coworkers, bosses, whatever, whoever. Somebody could be hiding information, withholding information, and whatever this information is, it's weighing on them, okay? That could be that some of us are holding a secret that is keeping us in this feeling of guilt, okay? And it says that I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Some of us cannot move forward because we're still keeping something a secret, whatever that may be. Take that as it resonates for you. For others, the Moon card deals with the fact that this is your emotional state, okay? Some of you guys are having to go within. Some of you guys are having to deal with your intuition, okay? Some of you guys may have used your intuition to make a decision, but you're being made to feel guilty about it. Maybe by outside people. There are two dogs here barking at the moon here, and the moon is looking kind of sad. So who knows? Like, there could be other people who are speaking against the decision that you recently made, right? And you made it based on your intuition. You're trying to be led by your intuition, okay? For some of us, I'm hearing that you could have heard about a potentially dangerous situation, or you could have had foreknowledge somehow, intuitively, or whatever. Psychic abilities and all that is also indicated by the moon. You could have psychically or intuitively known about something that may have caused somebody's death, or it may have at least caused some type of danger or harm to be inflicted upon this person. And you could be experiencing guilt because of that. I don't know where the hell that came from, but I just had to say it because I heard it. I heard that, so I had to say it, okay? With the moon energy, moon also deals with cycles. It deals with moms, mothers, maternal issues, okay? So there could be some issues that some of us who are of the divine feminine, we could have been taking it on, and we could have had guilt about not wanting to participate in it because we want to change. We want to change the cycle, the generational curse that could have been on us. We could have some form of guilt there. Like maybe you could feel like because you don't want to be like your mom in this situation, that you could be talking about your mom, or that you could be making your mom feel like um feel bad in any way. And that's not what you want to do, but you don't want to continue the cycle. Okay. You don't want to continue the cycle. Okay. So that's what I got. These are some of the messages that I got for the moon. Okay. Now, that's just if I was reading that by itself. The next card that came out, because then I asked Spirit, okay, Spirit, help me to clarify this moon energy, right? What is the moon card here for? And what I got was the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands deals with commitments of all sorts, okay? That could be friendships. Somebody could have bonded together to create a partnership with a friend, even, okay? But of course, this is also my marriage card for me. This is also a relationship card for me. The Four of Wands indicates the 1111, or the 144,000 to me unions, okay, of married people. All right. And so I don't know why, but there could be some guilt surrounding a union, a commitment that somebody went into, they entered into. Okay. And they could be second guessing that. That's what I get with the moon card here, as well as with the overall energy of the deck that I wound up using to clarify the moon card with this Four of Wands. Before I move on, let me tell you guys what the Four of Wands deals with. The Four of Wands deals with creating and establishing a foundation. Okay, so somebody could be having to look at the foundation that they created in a relationship, and they may be experiencing guilt behind whatever thought processes that they had that initially set up this relationship. Whatever it was founded upon, whatever it was based upon, they could be having and experiencing guilt, okay, and maybe even regret by how it was founded. How did this relationship start, right? How did this commitment start? Somebody could be experiencing regret and guilt about that because maybe they know that it didn't start off the proper way. There were secrets. There were secrets at the beginning. There were thoughts that were kept away from their partner that they want, but they wanted their partner so bad. I feel like they were really attracted to their partner. There was a lot of passion here, okay? And I also feel as though this what was established could deal with two different women, two totally different women, even opposites, even. All right. But somebody already knew that they were dealing with two different women, or however this may resonate. It could be reversed, that it could have been two different men that some woman was attracted to. Okay. Whatever the case is, apply it to the way that you need to. But there is guilt because of the secrets that were held back at the beginning, or the establishing of some type of commitment. And I would say a marital commitment. Okay. And now, with the overall energy, or the bottom of the deck being the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like now somebody is having to look at what's been planted here. What was planted here after all? What have I been watering? What have I been growing here? Is it what I wanted even? Is this the harvest that I desired, right? So again, and I feel like for some people, because they're experiencing guilt, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. So that's the reading that I have. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to hop into the topic that I came here for, which is to talk about the greater key of Solomon and the importance of the moon, and what she is notable for, what she's good for. Give me a minute, you guys. Let me go ahead and take a picture. real quick. Done. Now I can put this up and we're going to go ahead and start talking about what I intended to talk about originally on this topic, okay? So, for those who may not know what GKOS stands for, it does stand for the Greater Key of Solomon. So, the Greater Key of Solomon is a book that was, it's considered a Gnostic book, but I don't believe that it's a Gnostic book. I believe that it is a book that those who understand that you are a manifester should read. Um, whether you believe in religion or not. I don't really have any words that I want to say in particular. I didn't really prepare anything. I just know that I wanted to talk about it. And there are some things that I wanted to read out of the Greater Key of Solomon. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get that really quickly. I do have that book with me and I'm going to read some of the things. But I really wanted to talk about the moon real quick. And I'll say this, and then I'm gonna hop into to reading what Solomon talks about and what I really wanted to delve into today. So what I want to say about the moon is that the moon is considered in the atmosphere a feminine principle. The sun is the masculine principle, right? And so when I was thinking about this, and I remember when I first got the idea to talk about this, I got really excited about it because I feel like what I read in this book about the moon, it really made me think about how nobody can manifest without the feminine principle. You cannot create anything in this life. I'm going to say that again. You cannot create anything in this life without a feminine aspect. Point blank and the period. And it looks like that the beautiful, masterful creator decided to do that even in the universe. So that's why we've got the sun and the moon, which most people already know is considered the masculine and the feminine principle in the sky. Hence, with to me, with creation is yet another example of what the Elohim or what the gods are like. They have both masculine energy and feminine energy because without the both of them together in unison, in balance, you can't create squat. Okay, so when I read this, I was like, "Oh, that's so cool," because it speaks to divine partnerships. I think it speaks to divine connections and relationships between even men and women. So I thought that was beautiful because I'm this hopeless romantic. So moving on, let me hop into this. Right, I do have. It's not. I don't even want to call it a course. But I do call it a course on my website. But it's not like I'm just going to be teaching by itself. It's like I feel like I'm gonna share what I'm learning, what I've researched in the course. And you guys, whoever joined the course with me, we're gonna just be in this together basically. But with me bringing my energy and the things that I've looked into, it's a small energy exchange of fun, of money, of resources, okay? Because I don't know, it's just I think we're always supposed to exchange, whether it's not even money, it could be something different. But in this regard, in this setting, the exchange I am asking for is money, but not right here. I'm just talking about on the course, right? Where we're going to go into this book even more in depth in the course, and it's called the Spiritual Basics course. That's just part of it, okay? There's an initial class where we really try to learn more about everybody's spiritual gifts. Okay, but then there's another course where I hope to bring it out where we delve into this more and start to really practice it just as a group and stuff together. Moving on. So in another video that I did here, it was called Majestic Magic. Okay, um, it was called Majestic Magic, and I think it was something to the extent of before you decide to do spiritual work. This was something that I feel like people should really invest in getting the book of the Greater Key of Solomon, or you can get it off a PDF form and it'd be free. Okay, I just like to have something to hold in my hand and refer back to. One of the first things that I feel that is so important that Solomon mentions is that you have to truly love the creator. And then I also want to go a step further and say that you have to really love yourself Because when you love yourself, then you can love and respect other people, other entities, animals, and all that, nature and all of that. You got to have respect for the elements when it comes to manifestation. Because if you don't, you'll abuse them. I'm going to tell you why that's so important. Because we've got the masculine and the feminine principle in all things, especially in relationships. If you're not careful when it comes to creating the lifestyle that you want, you'll abuse your man. And vice versa. You will abuse your woman. You will misuse. And this is the reason that we have all these hurt and broken individuals, because people are trying to create. People are creating, but they're not being mindful and considerate of what they're creating. And that's a problem. So here's what King Solomon says to this. He says, let me give me something else to drink, because I hear my throat getting dry. And I might have to readjust my little attire, but it's because I want it to look a certain way. Here we go. It says, Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, has said that the beginning of our key is to fear the Most High, to adore the Most High, to honor them. I say them because I know that God is not just male, or it's not just masculine, okay? And it's not just feminine. It's both working together in unison. So that's why I say them. To adore them, to honor them with contrition of heart, to invoke them in all matters which we wish to undertake, and to operate with very great devotion. For then the Most High, Elohim, or the Most High gods, will lead us in the right way. Now, here's the important part that Solomon started to talk about. Not that the other part wasn't important that I just read. It's greatly important. Like I said before, having love for yourself, having love for other people and other entities outside of yourself, that is what matters the most. That is what's most important, okay? So it says that, and then the next thing is, the next thing that's important is the moon. And it says, when therefore you wish to acquire the knowledge of magical arts and sciences, it is necessary to have prepared the order of hours and of days and of the position of the moon. Without the operation of, first of all, and they're talking about the moon. Hi, honey bun. Hi, I don't know who Young Satu is, but hi, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here with me, okay? It says, it is necessary to, oh, I know who that is. I believe I know who Young Satu is. I think that might be Brandon. Hey, Brandon, if that's you. Okay, it says, it is necessary to have prepared the order of hours, and of days, and of the position of the moon, which the operation of which you cannot affect anything. So, without the moon, you can't manifest anything. You can have the hours of the days, you can have the hours, the proper hours, but if you do not observe the moon, then you ain't gonna manifest nothing, okay? It says, yes, it is me. How'd you know? Laugh out loud. Okay, so first of all, it was my intuition. Secondly, your name gave you away to me. Satu. Okay, that makes me think about Saturn. Whatever, I don't know, I could be wrong, but it makes me think about Saturn, Saturnine, and I know that you have done research on yourself and you know that you have a very Saturnine spirit. So that's what made me think about that, okay? So yeah, guys, I think that the biggest thing for me, somebody's probably going to call me a feminist. Somebody's going to say, oh, she's all about uplifting women. Well, I'm not a feminist, but I definitely am about uplifting the feminine principle in the earth, which is woman. But I'm also very much so into uplifting and balancing the masculine feminine. I mean, oh my God, did I say the masculine feminine, guys? I meant to say the masculine principle. I think it's important for both to be in their rightful places. And I'm talking about with respect. and honor, right? Not both people talking about you need to be over here and you need to get in your place. No, I'm saying that this needs to happen in balance, in love, so that we can really create some powerful shit that we enjoy, that creates freedom, both spiritually, physically, and mentally for all of us, because that's really what we out here wanting, okay? He said right on the money. That makes me feel really cool. Okay. So, yeah. So, I think that it's important to note what Solomon is saying. Like, it's kind of big to me. You cannot use all this knowledge and information and insight about the hours that you're supposed to operate if you want to create magic, or even the days, if you don't recognize and honor and respect and include the feminine principle. Okay, so I hope somebody is following thus far why I'm so excited about this. Okay, when it comes to the moon is also considered the lowest of all the planets, right? And when I read that here, it made me think about women. It made me think about how a lot of times women come across as oppressed, and especially in a very male dominated society, right? Some men may not understand that, or some men may be able to recognize what I'm saying as truth, okay? And they can get with that, and that's cool. A lot of the times, I feel like the feminine principle is being extremely oppressed, even now. And I feel that it's been that way in times past as well, okay? But because, especially since there's nothing new under the sun, we know this, right? So, moving on, here's what Solomon had to say. This is what Solomon had to say. What did he say? Give me a minute. I have stuff marked in here because other than that, this will be a super long video and I don't want it to be too long. And plus, I want you guys to kind of share some of your insights about what you've learned about the moon. If you know anything also about the greater key of Solomon, if you've tried anything yourself, if you've tried to manifest anything yourself, quote unquote, magically, then which is a big word for basically setting your intentions, okay, putting it out there to the universe, to the most high, and then doing what you know how to do to make it happen. That's pretty much what magic is. Even though people, hey, what it is, I don't know. Also, I feel like magic is everything. Magic also deals with the fact that, again, we use the elements to help bring about things that we desire, which is why there has to be a great respect and a great love for the elements. All right, moving on. Let me hurry up and get to what I'm trying to look for. Give me a minute. I'm looking for information about the moon. Here we go. So Solomon is teaching us first and foremost about every planet, what they're known for. If you wish to undertake any type of magical experiment, what day you should do it in, what hour you should do it in, and why. And it's usually because of what planet is ruling the hour of the day, or what planet is even ruling the day. All right, and that'll be another topic for another day. We're focusing on the moon and the importance of the moon in manifestation. So it says the days and hours of the moon are good for embassies, good for voyages, so trips, messages, that navigation, reconciliation, love, and the acquisition of merchandise by water. He also says you should take care to punctually, or you should take care punctually to observe all the instructions contained in this chapter if you desire to succeed, seeing that the truth of magical science depends upon it. Okay. It says the hours of Saturn, of Mars, and of the moon are alike. They are good for communicating and speaking with spirits, as of Mercury are for recovering thefts by means of spirits. Ooh. I don't know why this information is so exciting to me, but it really, really is. Hold on, I'm about to go back to moon. It says the hours of Saturn and Mars and also the days on which the moon is conjunct with them, or when she receives their opposition or quartile aspects, are excellent for making experience of hatred, enmity, quarrel, and discord, and other operations of the same kind, which are given later on in this work. It says the hours of the moon are proper for making trial of experiments relating to recovery of stolen properties, for obtaining night visions and or dreams, summoning spirits in sleep, and for preparing anything relating to water. Okay. And then it also says, where else do I see the moon? It also says, for those matters then which appertain unto the moon, such as the invocation of spirits, or the works of necromancy, and the recovery of stolen property, it is necessary that the moon should be in a terrestrial sign, namely Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Hmm. For love or for grace or invisibility, the moon should be in a fiery sign, namely Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. For experiments of a peculiar nature, so different experiments, okay, it says, which cannot be classed under any certain head, then the moon should be in an airy sign, namely Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Then it says, but if these things seem unto you difficult to accomplish, it will suffice that you merely notice the moon after her combustion or conjunction with the sun, especially just when she quits his beams and appears clearly. Excuse me. For then it is good to make all experiments for the construction and operation of any matter. That is why the time from the new until the full moon is proper for performing any of the experiments of which we have spoken above. But in her decrease or in her wane, it is good for war or disturbance or discord. Likewise, the period when she is almost deprived of light is proper for experiments of invisibility and of death. But observe inviolably that you commence nothing while the moon is in conjunction with the sun, seeing that this is extremely unfortunate and that you will then be able to effect nothing. But the moon quitting his beams and increasing in light, you may perform all that you desire, observing nevertheless the directions in this chapter. Furthermore, if you desire to converse with spirits, it should be especially on the day of Mercury and in his hour, and let the moon be in an airy sign as well as the sun. So I guess for me, the most important, the biggest thing that I really wanted to talk about is the fact that we literally can't manifest anything without the feminine principle. And I think I wanted to pretty much kind of tie that into the fact that the sun and the moon are respected when it comes to magic, when it comes to creating anything. And that's just in nature, period. That's the way that the Most High has really designed everything. And likewise, I think that both men and women need to begin to respect the feminine principle in the earth as it pertains to us as spiritual beings having a human experience. Like, you can't create anything without the woman. You can't create anything without the man. You need both the masculine and the feminine principles. That's what I think for sure. My biggest thing I want to say on this live today. And I want to definitely speak to those who talk about the feminine principle and who oppress it, or who try to say things like, it's only, who try to pretty much classify what the role of the woman is and what she's good for. I want to speak to that. You cannot do anything of the creative sort. You can't even manifest the desires of your own heart without a woman. And I'm not saying that to say you gotta have a woman, because I do know that you can do certain things without the feminine aspect. But if you really want to bring everything to fruition, you gotta have the feminine. You have to. So there's no need to, I feel like there's no need to really speak ill or to make it like the woman is lower than the masculine, period. And especially if you ever want to call yourself a magician or you want to call yourself a person who respects the elements and who can manifest shit. Because if you don't treat the feminine principle in the earth right, you ain't manifesting much and you won't be able to manifest much. And if you are manifesting without having respect, you're going to bring damnation to yourself. Because I want to say that that's what okay. I feel like I just heard something, guys. Give me a minute. I got to try to put it into words what I feel like I heard. If you're abusing the female or the feminine aspect in the earth today, whatever you're manifesting will be chaotic for you. Whatever you're manifesting will be chaotic for you. There will be no balance. There will be no peace in that. So anyway, I'm going to shut up. That's all I have to say, you guys. I'm so sad because I feel like nobody talked to me except for Young Satu, Gemini Goddess. She spoke. But other than that, guys, if you are still here with me, please share with me while I eat and snack on some stuff because I want to hear you guys'. I do have some other stuff. I do got a little bit more information about the moon, but I do want to hear you guys' thoughts, period. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Here we go. I did look up some meanings about each phase of the moon and what it's noted for, okay? Just in case anybody may come across this and they just don't know, you know? So even though we're getting a lot more information nowadays, so people do have access to this just as much as I do. So the new moon meaning, it says when the moon is fully dark with no illumination from the sun, it is symbolic of a quiet time, the time before something begins. It is thought of as a time to make new plans or to think of what projects or dreams you wish to set in motion. Okay, so that's the reason why Solomon was saying from any time from the new, like if you don't, for some of us who may think it's too overwhelming to learn the hours of the days, plus the name of the planets that govern the hours of the days, plus learning the phases of the moon, if you think that that's too much for you to get, but you want to start practicing magic, right? Or manifesting things, then that's the reason why Solomon was saying if it's too much, at least from the new moon to the full moon, it's okay for you to perform any type of ritual that you desire to manifest. That's a way of simplifying it for any of us, okay? So new moon is when you are to make new plans or to think about what dreams or projects you wish to set in motion. Says the waxing moon is the moon. It says this moon is partly illuminated and it's growing, and it represents the progress and expansion of your project. And it's time for you to stay motivated, take consistent action, and strengthen your resolve or strengthen the plans, okay? The full moon meaning. The full moon is the round and completely illuminated. It represents completion, the height of power, the realization of your desires, and the peak of clarity. It is a time to celebrate your growth, to take note of what progress you have made, and just to reflect on how far you've come. And the waning moon, it says the moon is again partially illuminated, but now it's decreasing in size. And this represents a time of reflection, purging oneself, and decluttering. Time to let go of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. These can be relationships, negative thoughts, poor habits, or projects that you are just no longer interested in. This period of purging allows you to start again with a clear mind to pursue fresh projects or goals during the new moon. So that's some of the other information that I had that I wanted to share just for anybody who may be familiar with the different phases of the moon and what they mean and what we can do on them spiritually speaking, okay? So if you guys don't have anything else to say, which I wish that y'all did, I wish y'all did. Hold on, y'all. So I'm gonna ask. Oh, yay! Okay, so say something. You gotta say it in the chat and I'll read it for you because I don't know if I can bring anybody on. I wonder if I can. So go ahead and share whatever insights, young Satu, because your girl would love to hear your insight. I'd love to hear what you know. What it could be about the greater key of Solomon, or of course, it could be about what you've learned about the moon. I'm coming back, by the way. I'm just sharing the conversation. 222 on the clock. Why is my computer going so slow? Okay, cool. That's cool, young Satu. He said, laugh out loud. Oh, no, that's quite all right. I'll just chat. That's perfectly fine with me. I'll read whatever you put here, okay? Likewise, for anybody else who comes on, I'll read whatever you say in the chat, especially if it's respectful. I'm so excited. My other sisters are hopefully coming. And again, I'm glad for all already here, especially those who don't chat with me, so I can read y'all's thoughts and everything. And so I can learn. I feel like I seen a comment, so I'm about to read it. All right. So, hey, Bree. Hey, Bree Booski. I am Brandon. I hope you're writing so I can get ready to read what you have to say. Because you know, I already said my little piece. People gonna have to catch it on the replay. Oh, I'm so excited for those who are going to get a chance to see the reading, like when it starts over and everything like that. I'm so happy for those who are going to get a chance to see the reading. I really, really am. And I certainly hope that it resonates. Okay, you guys. So let me tell y'all what we're talking about, just in case for everybody who's new and coming on, like my boo thing, Bree Booski. Okay, so what we're talking about right now is like a little bit earlier in the chat. I read from the Greater Key of Solomon. Okay, and what I was reading, the first part I read was how Solomon was teaching that it's really important for us to first have the utmost respect and love for the Most High. Okay. Oh, I see Brandon. I see Brandon's comment, so I can't wait to read it. We read about the importance to have the divine love of the Most High, which for me, the Most High deals with, yes, the creator source, but it also deals with yourself first and then other people second, and not just people, but nature as well as, the animals, everything that the Most High created. That it's important for us to have love and respect for those things, because if we don't, we will abuse and misuse it in the process of creating and manifesting whatever lifestyle or whatever it is that we're trying to create. So we read about that, and then we also talked about the significance and the importance of the moon, aka the feminine aspect, aka the feminine principle, aka the woman, when it comes to creating anything, when it comes to manifesting anything. Because King Solomon was talking about how you can't manifest nothing without the moon. So I talked about how that made me think about the feminine principle, and males and females, how you cannot create anything without a woman, period. Period. Like, and I'm talking about, like, if as a real magician or as a person who's utilizing your godship and your godhead, whether it be a man or woman. So anyway, that's just a little bit. I'm about to read Brandon's comments because I know he studies a lot, and I'm just really interested in hearing what he says. Okay, also, before I get any further, since I'm about to be reading comments, y'all, I got to get my snacks. Give me a minute. Oh, and that makes me think, guys, I want to have something called Snack and Chat Lives as well, where we'll have food. Now, when I say we'll have food, I do mean you'll have to bring your own little snacks and stuff, because clearly it's going to be virtual, so I can't provide the food. But yeah. So Young Satu says, and these just crunched up, so I got crumbs. He says, recently, before I start reading his, Brianna, if you have any insight about the moon or manifesting or whatever, feel free to put your comments here in the chat as well. Anybody can. Recently, I have been focusing more on the spirits of people as well as the order they belong to. So, in regards to the moon or lunar spirits, I realize how they are spirits of fundament. Young Satu also says, essentially, those who fecundate or fertilize, and how their empire is that of fecund. Give me a minute. I'm about to mess this up. Give me fecundity. Wait, no, that's not it. Fecundity. I think I might have butchered that for sure, but whatever. Fecundity or fecundity, and they correspond to true ideas. So, Brandon, for those of us who don't understand those big ass words that you just used, which, by the way, I'm grateful that you used them, because now I am going to go look them up. Please put it in layman terms for us while I look them up. I'm getting Merriam-Webster as we speak. Fundament, I know fundament deals with, like, it's of basic importance when it comes to establishing something. I think that's what that deals with. But we'll do fundament, and we'll also do fecundate or fecundate. Bree Smith says fertility. Oh, okay. Oh, I learned a new word. Impregnate. Okay. Get somebody pregnant. That's what it says right here. Mm. Okay. Ah. Okay. Brandon said, excuse me, or Young Satu says, oh, I'm sorry. They basically serve as the foundation for other spirits in order to evolve or grow. Oh, really? So the lunar spirits are the ones who, you know what? That make a lot of sense. The moon, the water, primordial. I don't know what I watched this other lady who talked about that the water signs, or those who are the water signs, like they were first. I don't know how true that is, but you're saying. Okay, and Brianna said, or excuse me, Bree Smith says, how do you define the order of the spirits? Young Satu, I'm sure that that's for you. But if it's not, I'm sure she'll correct me too. I'm getting excited. I feel like I'm about to learn so much. I am patiently waiting. So fun to Kate, we now know means to pregnant or impregnate. Hmm. And so now I'm wondering if that deals with the men. If that deal with the men, Brandon, you making me think. Hmm. Impregnation, planting seeds. That's what that made me think about. Bree says yes. He said he is focusing more on the order. Young Satu says this is in the key of Solomon as well. Fundament is the ninth order on the Sephiroth tree of life, and it is the order the moon and lunar spirits belong to. Hmm. Man, Brandon, I had a dream about the Sephiroth, but I didn't even know what it was. When I had the dream, I had no idea what the Sephiroth was. Like, and it might be TMI for you, Brandon, because you a boy. And when I say boy, I really mean man. You're a man, like a masculine, is what I'm saying. And it might, because what happened in the dream is a more feminine thing. I'll put it like this: it dealt with my moon flow, if you catch my drift. But it was with the Sephiroth. Oh my God, I knew that dream meant something. I just didn't know what, because I didn't understand it, child. I did not understand it. And then Brianna says, I just came out of a dream. Later, though. Okay, Bri. Okay. Hmm. Young Satu, I have another question that hopefully, mm, I don't know if I have the question even clear enough in my head. I just think that because you're saying that that the lunar spirits are the ones who kind of like impregnate and all that, I guess I see that as a masculine principle. So I was wondering, what are those, like the male? I could be wrong. I could just be real simple. Bree, now you got me wanting to know about that dream. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Brandon already helping a sister out. Fundament. And I'm guessing anybody, male or female, can clearly be a lunar spirit. And Brandon, how do we know the lunar spirits? How do you know someone is a lunar spirit? I'm not gonna write that in the chat. I thought I was, but that's too much to write. Okay. Young Satu says, well, men and women can both be lunar spirits and belong to the order of fundament. Those born or brought forth on Sunday night or Monday during the day. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Hmm. Hmm. So when you say fundament, what have you learned that fundament deals with? What have you learned that fundament means, young Satu? I'll be patiently waiting on that response as well. Let me Google that word too, though. I mean, not Google, but let me put it in dictionary too. Mm. Ooh, excuse me. Mm. Here we go. I ain't got time for ads. An underlying ground, theory, or principle. Y'all disrespectful. Mm-mm. You got to go to voicemail. The part of a land surface that has not been altered by human activities. So Brianna says, so he's saying born on a Sunday. It's born on a Sunday, Bri, and or on a Monday. It's born on a Sunday night or born on a Monday during the day. And then Bree Smith says, I just looked it up. Young Satu says, it's all in regards to the day of the week people are born under because the planets and luminaries govern their respective days of the week. They also govern the night preceding the day. Young Satu says, the first breath that we take on those days it is what makes us those spirits. Ooh. So that means I think you did something for me, young Satu. And I know that I was born on Tuesday. I was born on a Tuesday morning. So I want to say I'm one of them spirits that's warlike, a warrior-like spirit. Uh-huh. Ooh, young Satu. Maybe, and I'm not trying to put you to work or nothing like that, but maybe some people who come across this live, they're gonna probably want your expertise on that. You know what I'm saying? They might want you to, ooh, martial spirit. That's right, because Mars rules that day. Mm-hmm. 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 A spirit of aggression, force, passion, courage, war, something else. But I'm learning a lot more about that. Okay. And then Bree Smith says, ooh, wait, I was born in the afternoon on Sunday. Would that still count, young Satu, as like the day of Sunday? That she was born in the afternoon, that would still count as the day? And if so, that would still make you, Bree Booski, a lunar spirit. I bet it do. Because I'm thinking something, Bree. I bet it do make you a lunar spirit. I bet. I can't wait until young Satu answers. Because then it'll make sense to me why you and somebody that we know who shall remain nameless are probably together. I'm watching these comments so intensely. Oh yeah, he did. But he also said of the day following too. So he said it's governed by the night. What did he say? It's all in regard to the day of the week. Um, Because the planets and luminaries govern their respective days of the week, they also govern the night preceding that day. So, okay, so if it's Sunday night and then it precedes, oh, okay, so it will be another spirit. You right, Bree. You right. So it would probably be another spirit. You'll probably be under another spirit. Because Young Satu says, martial spirits are spirits burning with zeal, and they belong to the order of justice, and their empire is that of the chastisement of crimes. That's probably the reason why I have a whole thing about justice. Like, I would have went in the law, but I don't like the law system here because they do tomfoolery. Okay. Bree Smith says that, okay, well, yeah, Bree Smith says he was born on a Friday, okay? And Young Satu says if Sunday during the day, then a solar spirit. So Bree is a solar spirit, which makes sense as to why she and I are connected. Really? Okay, he says I'm reading straight from the Key of Solomon. Well, I guess I should have been reading mine too. I got my little book here. I guess I hadn't made it that far. It depends. But you know, that was just because mine was just about I just wanted to point out aspects about the moon. Hi to everybody that's on, guys. Please make sure that y'all say, hey, don't be shy, don't be shame, okay? Say hello. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. I'm about to talk about y'all. Y'all is rude. But anyway, this is so exciting. So, so, so young Satu, where would I find that? In the Greater Key of Solomon. This is so exciting. Ooh, and one of my friends, I hope he's on already. I hope he comes on. Let me ask him if he's coming because I want him to talk about more about his about the knowledge of the days and numerology, because that would probably give us a lot of insight on who we are and what we're here to do. Let me see if I can ask my friend to talk about that on here. That's if he's not already on here. I'm messaging him right now. Let me see. I'm waiting on you, young Satu. I don't know if we didn't ask you a question or not, but I thought we did. I thought we did. So Young Satu says it may depend on the edition you have, but it's at the end of the Key of Solomon, and the section is titled Ancient Fragment of the Key of Solomon. So let me see. I know that they do be changing stuff up too. That's kind of why I didn't want to get the book, but I bought it anyway because I really wanted to have something. I think I got it. Let's see if we can find something. Ancient Fragment of the Key of Solomon. Oh wow, that's beautiful. Oh my god, that is so dope. This is so dope. This is making me think about the tarot. This is making me think about the tarot. On the fix on the wheel of fortune, I want to say there is like a couple there are symbols on the wheel of fortune in the tarot card. And it's a couple animals that kind of look like the beast in Ezekiel. But anyway, let me read what this says. I don't know where I'm gonna stop though, but I think it's really cool and deep and important information. So I guess that's why I'll read it and I'll just kind of stop. Give me a minute. I'm grazing over. Dang it. Okay, so I don't feel like I see it. I see the letters or the mystical alphabet. Anywho, let me keep on. Let me go ahead and read this. So it says, I will now give unto you the key of the kingdom of the spirits. I'm gonna read fast, y'all, because this is kind of lengthy and I don't want to bore y'all too much for those who are here. Okay. It says, this is the spirits governed by the natural and universal hierarchy. Oh, wait, I skipped over a whole thing. This key is the same as that of the mysterious numbers of Yetzirah. Yetzirah. I might say that all wrong. It's just me and my Americanism. The spirits are governed by the natural and universal hierarchy of things. Three commands three through the medium of three. Three, three, three. Okay. There are the spirits of above, those of below, and those of the center. Then, if you invest the sacred ladder, if you descend instead of ascending, you shall discover the counter hierarchy of the shells or of the dead spirits. Know then only that the principalities of heaven, the virtues and the powers, and not persons, or excuse me, are not persons, but dignities. They are the degrees of the sacred ladder upon which the spirits ascend and descend. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and others are not names, but titles. The first of the numbers is the unity. The first of the divine conceptions, called the Sephiroth, is Kether, or the crown. It says the first category of spirits is that of, I could mess this up, y'all, please forgive me, Kloas HaKodesh, or the intelligences. Okay, and Young Satu says Jacob's ladder. Right. Oh my God. Oh, which makes me want to say how actually deep the Bible really is, even though most people try to take it only as face value. Moving on, I digress. It says the first category of spirits is the Kaloah HaKodesh, or the intelligences of the divine tetragram, whose letters are symbolized by the mysterious animals in the prophecy of Ezekiel. Their empire is that of unity and synthesis. And oh my gosh, when I think about it, I brought up the tarot and the wheel of fortune. When it talks about unity and synthesis, I noticed that the signs, those signs that are represented on that particular card in the tarot are all fixed signs. I don't really know if that means anything per se, but about unity, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, who else? Scorpio. Oh, and Aquarius. Did I say that? So Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo. Moving on. Their empires that of unity and synthesis, they correspond to the intelligence. They have for adversaries the Themiel or double-headed ones, the demons of revolt and anarchy, whose two chiefs ever at war with each other are Satan and Moloch. Wow. So Satan and Moloch aren't even the same being. How cool is that to know? Moving on. The second number is 2. The second sephira is Koachma or wisdom. These spirits of wisdom are the Ophanim, a name which signifies the wheels, because all acts in heaven like immense wheels spangled with stars. Their empire is that of harmony, and they correspond to reason. And I don't know why for me that make me think of Aquarius too. But anyway, maybe it's just because it's the A name. Who cares? Moving on. But in the tarot, the air signs are equated to reason and logic. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Anywho, they have for adversaries the, I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher this one, the Cogdiel. That's just, it all just sounds real bad. Sounds ugly. Is it Shy Gidel or Kai Gidel? Anyway, or the shells which attach themselves to material and lying appearances. Their chief, or rather their guide, for evil spirits obey no one, is Beelzebub, whose name signifies the god of flies, because flies haunt putrefying corpses. Thanks, I just funky. The third number is 3. The third sephira is Bina or understanding. I just so happened to watch a video of a man by the name of, I think his name is like Aquite or Aquite Amat or Amat or something like that. And he was talking and teaching briefly on how the woman, when she was built or when she was designed, was given an extra dose of Bina or understanding. I thought that was pretty dope. Moving on. The spirits of Bina are Aralam or the strong. Their empire is the creation of ideas. They correspond to activity and energy of thought. That really makes me think about manifestations, right? Young Satus, the third sephira, is the first order applied to a planet, okay, or luminary. Okay. So that's the first order applied to a planet. So the third one we see is understanding. Creation of ideas that correspond to activity and energy of thought. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. They have for adversaries the Satariel or concealers, the demons of absurdity or intellectual inertia. Inertia means stagnation and no movement. Yep. Saturnine spirits, that's me. We belong to the order of understanding. Okay. Okay. They have the adversaries to the chief of Satariel is Lucifage, called falsely, and by antiphrase, Lucifer. As the Eumedes or whatever, who are the Furies are called in Greek the gracious ones. That don't make no sense to me, but I'm reading it anyways because I'm going to learn. But the Satariel, that makes me for some reason think of Saturn too. That makes me actually think of maybe the dark side of Saturnine spirits. They might like to conceal things and hide things. Some people could consider the Saturnine spirits, if they're in the darker area of their selves, sneaky. Mm-hmm. Ask me how I know. You don't have to. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see. The fourth number is 4. The fourth sephira is the gedula or the chesed, magnificence or mercy. And it says the spirits of gedula are the, I'm going to mess this up, y'all. I'm going to mess it up. The kaskamulim, the kaskamalim, something like that, or the lucid ones. Their empire is that of beneficence, and they correspond to the imagination. And beneficence, that reminds me of being benevolent or being giving. Let's look up that word. Let's look that word up. I knew it. Oh my gosh. Thank you for confirming that, young Satu. He says yes, because at our worst, and when we are not properly aligned, we do become absurd, or we experience that intellectual inertia, or we conceal things. Yes. That's all I have to say is yes. And it's because I am learning also this information, because I am dealing as well, I believe, with a Saturnine spirit. Moving on. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking up beneficence. So let me do that real quick. Productivity, beneficence. How do I spell this word? Here it is. Yep, the quality or state of doing or producing good. Okay, yep. Young Satu says, I just had a spiritual guide tell me how he had difficulty reading me for years. And I realized that the entire time I had been concealing things about me from him. Young Satu says, then I purposed for him to read me, and he could read me as clear as he could read anybody else. Okay, I believe that, because I'm serious. Like, I know somebody personally that is like this. Ooh, Lord. I look crazy. It's because I am. I think that's cool too, that you can turn it on and off. And you know what else that makes me think about? That conversation that we had before, Young Satu, about the empath. You remember that? Moving on. Now, the fourth number, those who are of the empire that is of beneficence, they have for adversaries the GKOS or the GKOS. I ain't saying nothing different. Moving on. Or the disturbers of souls. The chief or guide of these demons, oh wow, is Ashtaroth or Astarte, the impure Venus of the Syrians, whom they represent with the head of an ass or a bull and the breasts of a woman. Okay. Wow, this is pretty deep. You know what this is making me think about? You know how, oh God, this is making me think about the Bible. It's making me think about every empire that, quote unquote, the Israelites ever had to go through. Every captivity we were in. It's almost like Israel was a depiction of all types of heavenly situations, which means it's like a spiritual plus physical connotation. So it's like showing to me that all the biblical testimonies and testaments of what Israel endured and what Israel had to go through, every captivity that they were in, it is also symbolic of the spiritual captivities and the spiritual transformations and changes that every human being or every spiritual being having a human experience is going to have to endure and go through. Let me find out. That's the bomb. And that puts a whole lot of things into perspective. I'm hearing things like you don't even have to read the Bible. You just have to continue to live life. And if you live life and then you read the Bible, you'll see your shit in there somewhere because you're living it. Wow. Young Satu says the fourth order is jovial or Jupiter spirits, which is why they're benevolent, why they're happy, why they're giving. Beautiful. Okay. So then it says the fifth number is 5. The fifth spirit is, oh my God. I asked one of my friends to come on because I was going to mention numerology, but it looks like this is also dealing with numerology. This is also dealing with numerology because he shared with me what my birthday means. I'm a 5. And it deals with this. It deals with this. I'm about to read it. Hold on. It says the number 5. The fifth number is 5, and it says the fifth spirit is Gabora, or justice. The spirits of Gabora are the seraphim, or the spirits burning with zeal, and their empire is that of the chastisement of crime. Mind in the best way possible. Bree, I want to know when go. Oh, Bree is the 29. Bree birthday is the 29. 9 and 2, 9, 10, 11. 11 down to, I think 11 is a number in numerology. But if it had to be broken down again, that would be 2. So I would say Bree would be in the number 2. Wisdom corresponds to reason. So Bree, I don't know if you're still here with us, but I would say, Bree Smith says, that's my Hebrew name, Aliyah Gabora. So Aliyah deals with something about highness or ascending. So to me, that's dealing with ascending justice. Like I might have read that all wrong, but the point is, Aliyah deals with ascension or going higher. So higher justice is what your name would mean to me. And then based off the day that you're born, breaking it down, 9 to 2, 11. Oh, excuse me. She says ascending in the power of the Father. And Gabora deals with justice. So, could be ascending in the power of the Father's justice. Wow. Boo. Moving on. You're born on the 29th of April. 9 and 2 is 11. 11 breaks it down to 2. The number 2 deals with wisdom and reason. And your adversary is going to be somebody that's not about the truth. That's going to be somebody who be lying and real material. I think that's pretty interesting. All right, let me move forward. I got so excited about that. All right, and it says that they correspond. Hold on, I think I might have missed something. So their empire is that of the chastisement of crimes. This is still 5. And it also says they correspond to the faculty of comparing and of choosing. Comparing and of choosing. I feel some type of way about that. I feel like that's really revealing a lot about me as a person. Okay, as a person, as a spirit, having a material, you know what I'm trying to say, having this kind of, all right, moving on. They have for adversaries the Golob, or incendiaries, or the genie of wrath and sedition, whose chief is Asmodeus, whom they also call Samael the Black. Asmodeus is the name of the god doggone demon that was attached to one of my favorite testaments to Anna, if I'm not mistaken, is her name, or it was Sarah in the book of Tobit. So Bree Smith says, interesting. And she also says, and you know that's kind of my forte, and I'm always being lied on. Okay. And young Satu says, I know that Gabora means might or strength, and it links to the execution of justice, essentially. I do think I have a strong sense of justice, a strong sense of what is right and what is wrong. And I stand for that, even if it hurts me or even if it makes me like look crazy. Okay, this is really cool, right? This is cool. Is it cool? I don't know. Okay, it's cool to me. Okay. Now, the sixth number is six. The sixth Sephira is Tiferet, the supreme beauty. Bree Smith says, now you know we are twins, sis. Yes, we are, right? We are. We are. We are. We are because when me being the number five, Gabora is my energy and it's a part of my spirit, a sense of justice. And your name, in your name, your Hebrew name, it is Gabora. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful here. Hold on, guys. I got to get more comfortable. Okay. Okay. The spirits of Tiferet are the Malakim or the kings. Their empire is that of universal harmony, and they correspond to judgment. They have for adversaries the Targarim or disputers, whose chief is Belphegor. Wow. That makes me think about Tagar. Tagar. I think that was the Targum. Targum is what I'm trying to say. Targum. Woo, shit. The seventh number is seven. The seventh Sephira is Netzach or victory. And it says the spirit of Netzach is the Elohim or the gods. It says that is to say the representative of God. Their empire is that of progress and of life, and they correspond to the sensorim or the sensibility. Representatives of God. That's beautiful. Young Satu says solar spirits, spirits of beauty, splendor, born Saturday night and Sunday during the day. Bree Booski, that be you. Bree Smith says, it makes me wonder, does that beauty have a drawing attached to it? I'd probably say so. I'd say so. Young Satu says sevens, venereal spirits, Thursday night or Fridays during the day. And it says that the sevens deal with victory. Wow, that's beautiful. Sensibility as well, sensibility. They have for adversaries Harab Serapel, or the ravens of death, whose chief is Baal. The eighth number, ooh, I wonder when my sister, hmm, I'm thinking about all types of stuff, y'all. Please forgive me. My wheels just going real fast. It says the eighth number is eight. The eighth Sephira is hold or eternal order. The spirits of hold are the Benai Elohim, or the Benai Elohim, or the sons of gods, or the sons of the gods. Their empire is that of order, and they correspond to the inner senses. Bree Smith says, so what can we do with this information, especially if someone is under attack? Well, I have to say that I still don't know because, to be honest, this is my first time getting this far in the book, right? So I would definitely say that it's important for us to probably learn this information about the people who are in our lives or the people who are important to us, first and foremost, to probably understand them, and maybe even to recognize when they're being attacked, and even to remind them of who they are. Even to remind them of who they are. You can pray for these characteristics, right? We can pray for their characteristics to return back to them, because these characters, traits, or these reputations, this is their name. This is what makes them up. This is who they are on a very spiritual, which is our core level. So with this information, 9 times out of 10, it's telling us who their adversaries are or what their adversarial spirits will do to them, right? So if they're a victorious person, then their adversaries are going to try to take that away. Let me see what the ones for victory were. The seventh number, the 777. Their adversaries are the ravens of death. So when I say, I think when it comes to death, death is not always about a physical death, but it could be about a spiritual death as well as a physical, or it could be that it will cause them to give up, to change from the state of victory to that of defeat or death. I hope that makes some sense. Oh my God. And for those like who have a sense of justice, right? Their adversaries would obviously cause them to feel defeated, or to cause them to not care anymore about fairness and equality and what is just and what is right. I hope that makes some sense. Young Satu says, I am a Saturnine spirit brought forth on a Saturday afternoon in a venereal setting brought forth under the Venus hour. The venereal setting would be 7th and victory. So that would have something to do with victory. You know what that makes me think about? That makes me think about your post when you were talking about how the Most High always defends you, and that's why your name is what it is, Young Satu. That makes me think about, that's the reason why you're victorious. You're a victor. I'm getting a headache, y'all, but it's probably because of all this information. But I'm happy to have this headache. Moving on. Wow, listen to this. Remember that we're on the 8th number right now. The spirits of Hod, or the Benai Elohim, or the sons of God, of the gods. Their empire is that of order, and they correspond with the inner sense. They have for adversaries the Samael, or jugglers, whose chief is Adramelech. Adramelech. That makes me think about, I don't know why that makes me think about Andromeda or androgyny for some reason, juggling. That also makes me think about people who want to do more than one thing. They never want to. Now I can't talk about them because that sounds like me. The people who never want to be known for only one thing, they like to juggle instead, or they like to mix and mingle or blur lines. Teeter totter, never one way or the other. Wow. And they are the adversaries of order. The 9th number is 9, and it says the 9th Sephira is Yesod, or Yesod, or the fundamental principle. Young Satu says, yeah, we already have these qualities, but it allows us to understand people better and basically know our place, laugh out loud, spiritually. And I feel like it'll help us understand why we react and we respond to things the ways that we do. Because it's our character. This is why I be arguing if I feel something is unfair or unjust. Like, I can only be quiet for so long because I'm going to have to say something about it. Like, I feel that it is unjust that women aren't getting the honor and respect that they should. So that's why I talk about it a lot. If that was fair, if it was already in alignment, I'd be talking about something else. Point blank, period. Moving on. It says the spirits of Yesod or Yesod are the cherubim or cherubim, or angels. It says those powers which fundicate, or excuse me, I said that wrong. Fecundate the earth, and which are represented in Hebrew symbolism under the form of bulls. Their empire is that of fecundity. Fecundity. I don't know if I'm ever get that word right, but fecundity. They correspond to true ideas, and they have for adversaries the Gamaliel or obscene, whose queen is Lilith, the demon of debauchery. Ooh, debauchery. That's a bad word, you know. That's a lot going on. Moving on. The tenth number is 10. The 10th Sephira is the Malhuth, or the kingdom of forms. And it says the spirits of Malhuth are the Iskim, or the virile ones. They are the souls of the saints whose chief is Moses. Let us not forget that it is Solomon who speaks. Oh, excuse me. Please forgive me, y'all. They have for adversaries the wicked ones who obey Nahima, the demon of impurity. The wicked are symbolized by the 5 accursed nations whom Joshua was to destroy. And it says, Joshua or Jehoshua, the Savior, is a symbol of the Mashiach. His name is composed of the letters of the divine tetragram, changed into the pentagram by the addition of the letter Shin. Each letter of this pentagram represents a power of good attacked by the 5 accursed nations. The real history of the people of God is the allegorical legends of humanity. Didn't I kind of say something similar to that? I ain't used the word allegory, but I said that it looks like, from what I was getting understanding with just from this information, that even the whole biblical testament of Israel and every captivity that they were ever in and everything that they ever went through and experienced is really symbolic of what every human being will experience. And look, it's saying it right here. For the real history of the people of God is the allegorical legend of humanity itself, period. So though Israel is the one going through it all, this is a representation of what all mankind. Whew. Baby, this is exciting. Here goes. The 5 accursed nations are the Amalekites, or aggressors, the Geburim, violent ones, the Raphaim, or cowards, the Nephilim, or voluptuous ones, and the Anakim, or anarchists. The anarchists are vanquished by the Yod, which is the scepter of the Father. The violent are vanquished by the Hay, which is the gentleness of the Mother. Wow. The cowards are vanquished by the I don't know how to say this word, the vow, which is the sword of Michael, and generation by travail and pain. The voluptuous ones are vanquished by the second Hay, which is the painful bringing forth of the mother. Lastly, the aggressors are vanquished by the Shin, which is the fire of the Most High, and the oh my God, the equilibrating law of justice. Wow. The princes of the perverse spirits are the false gods whom they adore. Hell has then no other government than that fatal law which punishes perversity and corrects error, for the false gods only exist in the false opinion of their adorers. So Baal, Belphegor, Moloch, Adramelech have been the idols of the Syrians, idols without soul, idols now destroyed, of whom the name alone remains. The true God or power has vanquished all the demons as truth triumphs over error that is passed in the opinions of men. Oh, wow. Did you hear that? The errors that are passed in the opinion of men. Oh, I said men's. Please forgive me. I'm getting too excited. The true God has vanquished all the demons as truth triumphs over the errors that is passed in the opinions of men, and the wars of Michael against Satan are the symbols of movement and of the progress of spirits. The devil is ever a god of refusal. Accredited idolatries are religions in their time. Oh my God. Superannuated idolatries are superstitions and sacrileges. The pantheon of phantoms, which are then in vogue or in style, is the heaven of the ignorant. The receptacle of phantoms, whom folly even wishes for no longer, is the hell. But all this exists only in the imagination of the vulgar. For the wise, heaven is the supreme reason, and hell is folly. So, guess what that's basically saying? Heaven is having the knowledge of truth, altogether truth and reason, no error. And hell is folly and error of the mind. On that note, I'm going to be quiet. This has been one of the best things ever. Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, Most High, for blessing Solomon. Me and my drama. Guys, I have enjoyed you all so freaking much. I am so grateful that you guys came. I'm done with reading from the book now. That was really exciting information to me. And thank you so much, Young Satu. Thank you, Brianna. I wish that my friend could have came on and talked about the numerology and stuff, even though we still read about it in this in the greater key of Solomon. I really wish that we could have gotten a chance to hear his take on numerology and what he's learned about each day and what they mean. I know for my day, he did the 5, and that basically those who are born on a 5-day are here to return things back to spiritual order. And I really thought that that was the bomb, because justice is about order as well. So that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. I also might add that according to tropical, astrology, my rising sign is that of Libra. And Libra in the tarot is traditionally represented by the Justice card and also swords. But yeah, we are warriors for justice. We like to destroy lies. Okay, we like the truth more. That's just thebomb.com. Anyways, guys, thank y'all so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and end the live. I'm hungry now, so I'm trying to eat something for real, for real. We will be having discussions like this again. For any of you guys who are interested in taking this or joining me with the Spiritual Basics course, please go to theprettycoachoracles.com and sign up for that. It is an energy exchange, or I do have it set at about $40. But that's just so that I can get certain things. You know what? Oh, I just heard something. Well, I'm gonna have to say what I heard, because I have to. I heard that with the funds that I get from that, for some of you guys who don't already have the Greater Key of Solomon, and that's if you wish to have a hard copy, some of the proceeds and from you paying for that course can go to that, so that you guys can have that and we can study this together and delve deeper into it. All right, guys. Anyways, moving on. I love you guys with the love of the Most High. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys have made this experience so fun for me. Thank y'all. I'm done. I'm out of here. Gonna go eat now. Bree Booski, me and you gonna talk. All right, guys. Shalom. I want to say peace, love, light, and darkness in balance and in harmony with one another. That's the blessing I speak over us. Bye.